Dungeons and Dragons is a huge franchise with a huge following. So who do you first call when you got the role?
Oh, wow. Good question. No one's asked me that. I've had an entire day of this. No one's asked me that question. Who did I first call when I got the role? You know, I don't know. It might have... For the life of me, I can't remember. I think I was so excited by the script itself. I remember reading it through and just being really surprised because I wasn't sure what this movie was going to be. And I remember by the time we got to the end of the script, I just had such a good time and I was laughing so much that, you know, it was probably my agent. I probably just called my agent again and kind of went, I think we're actually going to do this. I think this is so much fun. I can't believe that they want to do this with me. This is going to be great.
Did the directors put you guys through Dungeons and Dragons boot camp?
There were 2 boot camps. So first of all, to get familiar with the characters, we played a game of Dungeons and Dragons together. And we all played as our characters, and the directors, John Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, played as a 2-headed bird, just to kind of keep things wacky. And I think that that really did set the tone for the film that we wanted to create. Because yes, the film has dragons and dungeons and magic and swords, but it's not about those things. It's about the people who are playing. It's about that feeling that you get when you're playing games around a table with your friends. And so we all play together, and the idea of the game is great for actors. It's just improvising and thinking of the wildest and wackiest, most magical thing you could possibly do, and handing that off to Chris Pine, who's sitting next to you, and he makes it even wilder and even more magical. And he hands that off to Michelle Rodriguez, who does something thoroughly chaotic, who hands that to Hugh Grant, who says something very, very charming and makes things even more magical. And suddenly you're somewhere that no one knew you could be at the beginning of the piece, but is so much funnier than it would have been on its own. And that's what we took into the movie. And then once we're making the movie, the directors were very, very passionate about this not feeling like a green screen movie. Like everyone goes to a fantasy movie and they think, oh, it's gonna be lots of effects and quick cuts and just lots of CGI. And they didn't want that. So they wanted to make the fight scenes in particular, the action scenes, feel very, very real and tangible. So I was in training with the stunt guys every day that I wasn't filming. I'd be doing 4 hours with the stunt guys. Learning the fights, getting into a good enough shape to do the fights, because you got to do this take after take after take, so you've got to be fit. Doing it in the armor and the cape. And so they made me work for it, and I really, really enjoyed that. I enjoyed doing fights that felt like they had a weight to them, and that where you could do as much of the work yourself as you possibly could. And I think it looks like that on screen. I think it looks cool.
The Red Wizards created an army of the undead.
Sounds lovely.
Quite the opposite.
I know, I was being ironic.
I find irony is a blade that cuts he who wields it most especially.
You're not a lot of fun, are you?
I saw this interview about you and your armor, and you actually hit your handphone or something in your armor. So what else can you hide in your armor?
What can I hide in my armor? You can hide snacks in the armor. You can't hide anything that melts because it's going to get really, really warm. But you know, the odd packet of Skittles just kind of tucked away for when you need energy in the middle of the fight scenes. You can hide your phone in your boots, but again, you're going to get bruised if you actually forget to take it out before you do the fights. You get creative with it. I think we should get people to write in from home with the types of things they'd like to see hidden in the armor.
Taking on the greatest evil will take the greatest team. We have a barbarian.
I don't mind that.
A warrior.
I'm glad he's on our side.
A sorcerer. And a shapeshifter.
Oh, that's not good.
Fine, it's early in the morning. It's very exciting to speak
Right.
to you about Dungeons
I
and
was
Dragons.
you 8 hours ago. I've been doing this since the early morning. I can relate.